right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pod Zone.
It's just the Speaking Sporadically podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We need a fucking sponsor.
Dude, I know.
So we can say the Speaking Sporadically podcast, sponsored by blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Like, I listened to the, what was the name of that? The Bellied Up podcast by the You Betcha guy and Charlie Barons, the two, big Midwest guys.
Yeah.
They're like, welcome back to the Bellied Up podcast, sponsored by Fleet Farm.
Fleet Farm?
Yeah, it's like a TSC type of deal, but their nickname is like the Man's Mall, and they're big Fleet Farm guys. But I love that podcast because they just go sit at the bar and people call into their podcast and they just fucking give them drunk advice all afternoon.
Those are
Dude,
awesome.
it's hilarious.
Those are
Highly recommend the Bellied Up podcast. Not a paid product sponsor, but Bellied Up podcast is fucking
Any type
good.
of live podcast where they do calls is just hilarious. Like, you guys ever heard of John from John Breaks Bad News?
Yes. Oh, it's hilarious.
Genius business
Hi.
model.
This is John from John Breaks Bad News.
People literally will email him and they pay him like $15-$20 to break bad news to people that they don't want to say themselves. So if I wanted to tell you, Jacob, you're no longer on the podcast, you can't come anymore, I would send a $15 Venmo to this guy and be like, yo, call this number and tell him he's on the podcast. And he would call him live this is John from John Breaks Bad News. I got bad news from Devin for you. And then they were like, okay. It's like, yeah, you're not allowed on this or blah, blah, blah anymore. Sorry, pal. And there's usually a bunch of awkward pauses. And the person's just like,
Thanks.
yeah. And then he always ends it with, I love you. He always goes, yep, I love you. Goodbye. And they're like, see ya. It's hilarious.
That's funny.
It is
That
good.
is
Usually
funny.
when he says, hey, this is John from John Breaks Bad News, they're like, who? John from John Breaks Bad News. It's so simple, but it's
Funny.
funny.
The only similar thing I've seen close to that was some guy stopped a gentleman that was riding on a motorbike, and he asked him if he could serve his wife divorce papers. So the guy rode to his house, knocked on the door, and said, hi, this is such and such. On behalf of your now ex-husband, here's your divorce papers.
Dude, the market's closed. You can close Robinhood, bro.
No, it's open. Shit's moving.
It's after hours. It's open in China right now.
Whatever.
Shit's moving. Sorry, I just had to check it real quick because it showed that it spiked, and I was wondering why.
Oh yeah, it popped on Friday. Dude, it's so funny because
Did we do an intro, by the way? Of
I don't know what episode
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is.
Well, 'cause I
141.
said welcome to the Pod Zone.
I guess obviously people know this is Speaking Sporadically. It's episode 141. This should be.
Please subscribe if you're not subscribed.
Yeah.
If you're a big time subscriber, create a second account and subscribe too.
Subscribe again. More the merrier,
Yeah,
Double
I'm kind
trouble.
of thinking about potentially making a YouTube account, posting a ton of reels on it, getting it to 1,000 subscribers, and then just transferring all the videos from this account over to that account, and then now we can have 1,000 subscribers.
I mean, you could just post the reels to. Oh, you're saying random reels.
Oh yeah, brain rot reels. Just straight up Minecraft parkour Reddit story type stuff.
Okay, I gotcha.
And then just delete all of those reels and then make this our channel.
We talked about buying an Instagram channel a while ago.
Yeah,
'cause, it's a
someone
business
was
where
someone got in our DMs where we have an 80,000 follower account for sale. And they want $500 for it.
Was it that much?
It was a lot.
I don't know, but I know it's a business where people just actually just post a bunch of memes or whatever on a page, and then when they don't want to anymore, they're too busy.
Yeah.
They delete all the content and then they sell it.
Which
and
is
then
so-
someone can buy it and change it, and then they already have.
People definitely do it as even their personal accounts. People probably buy accounts for their personal accounts.
Probably.
So weird.
Absolutely. People with money do things like that.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen any the Amalfi Jets stuff on
Yeah, I know.
TikTok?
Yeah.
Colin Amalfi Jets, Jacob. Not seen any of those.
Nope. Not on the TikTok.
Not on the TikToks.
Actually,
Well, he's on Instagram too. So you could.
So
Theoretically, you could follow him on the Instagram.
I delete Instagram Monday through Saturday morning, and then I re-download it on Saturday morning, and I have it deleted by 6 p.m. on Sunday night.
Really?
So yeah, I only let
Wild.
myself have Instagram for about a day and a half every week.
That's crazy.
Which one of the times I deleted it, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I re-downloaded it and it logged me out, and I didn't know my password, didn't have a linked phone number, and it was an old email I had started the account with, and I had to go hard in the paint to get my account back. I was like, all right, I might be cooked. And it's funny because every time my girlfriend posts something, she'll be like, "You gotta re-download Instagram to see my posts." I'm like, "All right, I'll do it this week. I'll do it this weekend."
I had like the same thing where you try to get in, but with an old account, because everyone has an old account.
Oh yeah,
a young old. I know you still do. It's still up. I check.
Oh
it
yeah,
occasionally.
I should delete that.
The ones that are floating
I need to
around
log in and delete that thing.
I purposely like still follow some or like leave some in like my recent search just so I like can find them easy. But I had to go in the tank to get logged back into my old one, and when I finally did, it was one of the happiest days of my life. I got that deleted. It's no longer out there. Felt so relieved.
It's just good.
Yeah,
good for the brain.
I'm hoping to post something on Instagram here really soon on my personal account. I'm just gonna do like I think like just 10 photos from kind of like I don't know past year.
Yeah.
Just like haven't posted in 3 years update.
Yeah, I haven't posted since senior year.
Yeah, about 3 years then.
But yeah, maybe I'll wait until I graduate. Throw in like a graduation
just do a college one.
Yeah, do like a graduation one to start. I mean, like
You
here,
just
this
post
this
like
is a
20
post.
photos of your entire
Yeah, this
college
is a post.
career.
This is pretty much the whole phase of my life.
This was college.
Yeah, this is college.
4 years of my life and 20 photos.
I'll probably just have graduation playing from Kanye West in the background.
Kanye. Poor guy got kicked off of X. You know how hard it is to get kicked off X?
So difficult.
There's literal porn stars on X.
Yeah.
And they don't get blocked. They don't get kicked off. Kanye posts some mildly Nazi shit. And sorry, buddy, you gotta go.
I mean, there was, I don't know if there still is, but there was terrorist groups on X. Like ISIS had a page.
Yeah, they had a Twitter back in the day, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy.
Still-
he
still
was saying
crazy.
some
Is
wild.
current-
Yeah, I mean, it was, but
Is X currently? Do they ban people? Like this was recently done.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like he had some crazy tweet the other week that fucking
It was a
blew
whole
up.
bunch. It was a stream.
He had a
It
whole
was just a day
stream.
where he went crazy. I remember seeing. I think I saw it on Instagram, and it was like Kanye on Twitter today, and it was just like a madman doing some crazy stuff or whatever. And so I went and I searched him, and I was like, "Yep." It's just all of it was caps. It was like it had to
Everything
be
was
at least
yellow.
a dozen tweets. All was caps, just all about everything.
It's so hard to
How can
like
someone in that
summarize
position
it.
not just be happy and just be happy and like do some charity work.
Yeah, dude.
Live
And
like
just enjoy your life,
yeah.
dude.
Try to end up
Just
having
book
like
a private
fulfilling
jet
life.
and go somewhere. Call Colin
Seriously.
at Amalfi.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. He usually bleeps super famous names though.
Oh yeah, I like bleeps all names.
No, but like I love the Amalfi Jet stuff to bring this full circle. Like just all the, like the lives of the super rich is so far vastly different from the lives you and I live. Like we were talking about taxes before this got started. Devin was like, "Yeah, I'm getting like $500 back from the state," and you're like pretty pumped about that. It's a pretty good return. I'm thinking, man. So McKenna, McKenna on Amalfi Jets, like she's big time customer. Her dad's uber rich. Either way, she's lightly like she thinks her Spanish tutor is hot, so she chartered 17 private jets every Wednesday till the end of the year, end of her school year, to bring her private tutor from Barcelona to Geneva to help her study and take her tests every week for her Spanish class for the light cost of $36,000 a week round trip. Total of like $600 and whatever $1,000.
Yeah.
Again, the lives of the uber rich is just vastly different.
There was a movie I watched called Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah,
And yeah, like
same thing.
yeah. I mean they're like supposedly it was about like one of the richest families in the world. And they were hosting a wedding, and this wedding was just it was like an entire country was celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy how that stuff
But
works.
I think there's also some rich people that are like very
Humble about it. I mean, there definitely are.
Oh, yeah, definitely are.
like I don't know why, but I felt Warren Buffett came to my mind, and I guess he's kind of old, so it may not be the best example. But I bet if you took a day in the life of Warren Buffett's
he
life,
goes to McDonald's every day.
yeah, he gets a coffee at McDonald's every day. I feel like it's a very normal life. He gets
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
gets his coffee, has breakfast.
No,
He goes
Warren
and looks at
Buffett-
markets
does this.
and
Honestly, any hate that Warren Buffett gets, I think is very unjustified. I think he's actually a great person.
Oh yeah,
He recently talked about his company's tax bill that he paid, And a lot of people got upset with him because he was explaining how pretty much if all the companies in the S&P 500, if paid their fair share of taxes, paid a 10% flat tax on any income they earn, no deductions, nothing. And obviously there's arguments where you can go into, well, that's going to trickle down to the employees. They'll have to cut employees. But if you just said you make $1, you send $10 off to the government.
You mean 10 cents?
Yeah. You make $1, you send 10 cents off to the government. All of the top S&P 500 companies did that last year. It was like 93% of all taxes that the government collected from all the citizens and all the companies.
If they did that. You see, if the tax code wasn't written by billionaires for billionaires or written by big corporations for big corporations, it'd be a perfect world.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different sides of the argument because if Google did pay its fair share of taxes, we might not have like the AI engines that we have, or Google search wouldn't be as refined. A bunch of individuals wouldn't have jobs. Mm-hmm. It would definitely probably
prices would be more expensive. Most likely they'd charge more for their stuff.
Yeah, and overall probably slow. Our technological growth. Mm-hmm. So then it's the argument like, do I want the U.S. government to have this money, or do I want Google to have this money?
Well, it'd be cool to pay off or at least start paying down some of our debt. But Doge has been finding money hand over fist in different random countries all over the world. So they're doing their fair share of good work there.
I want to look more into that because some of the ones I've seen just off like short reel videos are wild. They found
there was like 400 million in some random like South American country for transgender education, or something like that. I was like 400 million in one country for that.
$800,000 they found was going to a bureaucratic agency called the National Pillow Fluffing Agency.
Yeah.
1.9 million was going towards the Elevator Music Review Committee.
That's crazy.
Like, what?
It's just like this has to be fake.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I saw when I was reading like this is stupid.
Yeah.
You just catch things in passing on the TikTok or whatever.
And this was like this might be another topic, and we might not even have enough time for this because this is a whole conversation, but it kind of brought up when I saw Trump and Vance had their meeting with Zelensky. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh, I saw some stuff of that.
Went viral. Yeah. Well, it just like...
Which was really interesting because
Zelensky was just trying to bully Trump into giving him money, and Trump was just like, no.
Yeah, it was interesting because I listened to another really big podcaster that is from that region, Lex Friedman. I think that's his name. He was on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan and him had a discussion about... He actually did an interview podcast with Zelensky. So it's interesting the timing of that because I just listened to that episode, which I think was from a couple months ago.
And then Zelensky didn't even show up in like suit and tie to do that meeting or whatever either.
That might be a culture thing. I mean, I don't put that on.
I feel like that Eastern European is usually very stand up-ish. I mean, I think Russia's in the same. I mean, it's the same kind of area of the world. It's usually very up and at 'em.
I'm not going to pretend to know. To be honest, I don't know if they're more casual or what. But yeah, the whole point is like the rest of the world is so lucky, and so many other countries feel so entitled because America has to be the police of the world, and it sucks. Like they got into a heated argument yesterday because America wasn't sending a war they have no involvement in. They weren't sending them enough money. I'm like, why isn't every other country in this discussion? Like, why do we're always the only ones that have to send money, and when we don't, we get backlash.
Mm-hmm. From the world.
Yeah, you can look
China. You can go start sending some money over there if you wanted. If you really think Ukraine has the military capabilities to take down Russia, do it.
Yeah.
But they obviously don't think so. They ain't doing that.
Even like own Americans, they'll hate on Trump when they like don't help him, and he'll say, "Oh, Trump doesn't care about the Ukraine people." I'm like,
why should we?
Where's every other country in this discussion? Why is it just us? No wonder our debt's so low. We're sending money to random places. We have to be the police of the world, and when anything goes wrong, they come to Big Papa America and
bail their ass out.
Come crying at our door, and then if we don't help them, we're looked at as a terrible country and terrible people. I'm like, I don't know any other country country that's sending money to these places or helping out as much as we are. Again, I could be wrong. There definitely could be other places, but it doesn't get near the publicity, and I doubt near the amount, considering our debt is like by far the largest. And I've been hearing the amounts of money we spend, and I'm like, okay, that country's worth like a double that. That'd be half of their value as a country.
And that's why
so
a lot of
crazy.
people will say our debt is so meaningless, because if we were to go belly up, it would, the whole, like, I bet a third of the world population would.
Yeah. The reason we have that debt is because we're giving you guys money. It's like,
you guys would be dead if we didn't have this debt.
Yeah,
like we were
exactly.
taking out debt for the people.
Yeah.
At this point, for the world.
Yeah, it may not be dead, but like they'd be in a lot worse situation, however you want to look
We'd be
at
at least in a better financial situation.
Yeah, we would. But then everyone would hate on us because, again, I don't know where this change started. But
well, it started like kind of back with like when we were.
It's probably just the communist era.
Communist era when we were like, okay, we can't let this shit go any farther.
Yeah.
But I think it might even stem like farther back too. Like when we started involving ourselves in random wars, like in the Caribbean and like Spain was trying.
Well, you
to
definitely
like,
have the first examples from like World War I and World War II.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people would say there was more of a very direct, point at cause of like, yes, you should go to war because, if
and then,
Hitler,
like,
Nazi Germany
if
takes
you
over
really
the world.
want to guess, Korea would be the great first. Like, we really didn't need to involve ourselves with Korea, but we did.
Yeah.
Vietnam
too.
Vietnam was the worst example of that, but
yeah,
we just didn't need to do that.
It's
but we did it.
Crazy how we have grown to become like the person that has to take care of everything financially and like powerly. And again, we have to be the police, and like we're not getting paid for being the police. I guess it sucks, but that's how it is.
But it's also how much of that is us like involving ourselves for power.
Right. That's another true thing. Is
like how much of this money do we get saying, okay, we're gonna give this money, kind of expecting to be able to dangle this carrot and stick over a country's in front of a country.
Hey, come back to us. We'll help you out.
Yeah. And there's obviously like indirect relations we have. Like if we trade with that country, we obviously don't want them to be in a war, or maybe they're a huge maker.
We're the country that has the most embassies in other countries.
Yeah,
we're the country that
we have the most
owns
little fingers in every little country. Everywhere.
We have the most pretty much owned real estate in other countries than any other country in the world. Yeah. So it's also like
something to be said for that.
You got to be involved in the good and the bad, or you got to not be involved.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we are definitely the kings of the world, though. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Kind of sucks at times, though, too.
Yes, it absolutely does. Because we really don't receive much benefits.
We don't. I mean, people don't respect us. People don't respect us.
I would love to see the balance sheet of how much money countries send us versus how much money we send.
Dude, I bet no other countries send us money.
Exactly.
No one's sending us money.
Exactly.
Pretty much everything we spend in a year is just negative. Our balance sheet would just be negative.
And like, there's be other countries and other citizens that think they know politics, or maybe they do know politics, and they'll bash on us for having the big, huge debt that we have. And it's like, we're writing you checks, pal. Like
you guys could be freaking nothing.
Yeah.
If it wasn't.
Start writing our checks.
Big Daddy United States is coming to save you.
Mm-hmm.
Russia's knocking on your doorstep. You come fly over here and come cry to us. Like, please send us airplanes and tanks and troops and money.
Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know of any situation where we've gotten foreign funding, or I can't even think of a situation in which we would get foreign funding.
Unless someone tried to invade us, but I don't think freaking Canada or Mexico is trying. Mexico is invading us. Realistically, but
not the Mexican government, but
not exactly.
That's a new topic.
That's a completely different topic.
Whole different topic.
But like, I don't think we have to worry about the Canadians coming down on their walruses to beat us up.
No,
they're woolly mammoths.
The woolly mammoths and the polar bears.
Yeah, but like if we were to get in a war with someone, I feel like we wouldn't even receive much funding. I think we'd get assistance. I definitely think there'd be countries that'd be on our side. But
one thing I want to educate myself more on is kind of the whole structure and how global organizations work. I'm not too like
NATO and stuff.
Yeah, and like is the UN.
It just seems like a cluster, so to speak.
Yeah,
like
I'm just not I'm not familiar with. I don't know how their councils
really
work.
Want to see how it works? Let's just start World War III.
Nah.
I mean, I ain't getting drafted, but like, actually, you guys have fun.
You could, right?
No, I'd probably get medically discharged.
Wow. Really?
Or for my back injury. Seriously, I probably wouldn't. And my knees are junk already. For the record.
Oh my gosh.
Have fun, guys.
Well, they say. I think I saw somewhere that the percent of males like from like 18 to 25 has been dropping pretty drastically every year that would be considered eligible for the military.
Yeah, I mean, because one thing is, at least the draft, and again, the old draft. If you're in college, you're going to college, you weren't getting drafted. You were exempt. But
Not
I'm
anymore. I bet today they'd probably get.
That's probably
get
why
drafted.
the number keeps going down, because I think more and more people go to college.
Yeah.
And are going to.
Well, I
some
think
higher
this one. I
education.
think what I was looking at was more hinting towards like the physical. Like most people are physically fit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like they have to meet the
They have
what is it,
physical
basic
requirements.
standards.
Yeah.
Like the 2 push-ups that Luke probably couldn't do because his back or whatever.
Because his back and the 1 mile run that you probably couldn't do because your bad knees.
Bad knees.
My bad knees. I can't run. That's too far, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Luke would be like, I can't. I have a sled for this, man. Why am I
do
running?
this.
I got a snow sled for this.
give me my snowmobile. I can do it in like 2 minutes.
I ain't got a truck. Dude, I'll drive my truck.
Give me kind of my truck.
Yeah, dude, you could drive a truck for the military.
Nah,
Drive
actually,
a
I
big deuce
could-
and a half.
that
That's
would
the
be
only
actually
job
no,
is just-
that'd
What
be
if you
that'd be
couldn't?
really
What if
cool.
you weren't eligible for the draft, so they like would I don't want to say repossess because they never had possession of it, but take your property. Like they say, like, oh, this is now a military vehicle,
So
and they
you're
just
gonna take
drive your truck right out of your garage.
my car, and my snowmobile are just
Yep.
gone.
Yep.
It's the only things I own.
Convert it to a
so-
standmobile. Go down the dunes.
I have seen people ride snowmobiles like in dunes and shit.
How much of a change is required?
Dude, you would have to change.
Like
Like it would.
everything, bro.
Oh, it's a lot actually.
Say that
You gotta
sand would destroy.
destroy. So the track runs on a set of like plastic slides. It's not plastic. It's probably some silicone or like a. It's like basically a hard plastic, and if it doesn't get lubricated, it doesn't bring any engine into the. It doesn't bring any snow into the engine. The engine overheats if you don't have enough snow. So I mean, you'd have to change. You'd basically be making a 4-wheeler that runs on some sort of tracks.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, so the snowmobile requires snow to be
it helps keep
flung
the
on
engine cool. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's interesting.
You can overheat. You can overheat. You can actually ruin a snowmobile if you run it too much on like hard pack or.
Well, I wish Felix's would have flung some snow in that fire.
You should have had some more snow.
Yeah.
Oh man, sad. No. They'd be kind of worthless unless they're gonna go invade Russia. In that case, by God, take the damn thing. The thing is, it's bright yellow, bright green though. So good luck trying to keep that thing camo. Can't keep. You have to paint it black.
You get white, probably.
Yeah, white, black, maybe like a nice whitey gray, like
White-
an off white,
like a white camouflage,
like a gray white, or like white camouflage, no camo.
or red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Mounts machine guns on the back.
Oh gosh,
That would be fun, like paintball with.
Yeah, with slow
With
snowmobiles.
It's always
Snowmobiles,
paintball. It's never
Any
four-wheelers.
sort of
guns.
like off-road vehicle. Another time I rode my side by side out here from my house, parked it out in the field,
Yeah.
took the back way around. That was fun.
Yeah, but I don't think we're getting any wars anytime soon.
No, probably not.
Hopefully, war just becomes a thing of the past.
Yeah, it is.
Theoretically,
think-
it should, but
I think as globalization gets more relevant, more people are going to be negatively affected by any country being in any bad situation.
because everyone's so intertwined.
Yeah, and the more you get intertwined, the more benefit.
There's less, almost like less national loyalty, so to speak.
Yeah, less national loyalty and more benefit to actually, helping bring other countries up
Mm-hmm.
rather than tearing
And
them
then
down.
tearing people down.
And hopefully,
Eventually, like the Vladimir Putins and the Chinese and the Koreans of the world, whoever the rulers of those two countries are, well, whatever. Yeah, they'll slowly become a thing of the past, anyways. Then you'll just have to worry about South America being drug lords, but
I mean, Mexico's in North America.
yeah, I know. And it's also pretty much run by cartels, so
Mm-hmm.
pretty much every country in
wait, Mexico's in North America.
Technically, yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I guess it's in the North
it's-
America.
They're
it's
like
North
right
America.
below, but like they consider anything south of Mexico though South America, don't they?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Or it's Central America and then it's South America. There's like 12 countries. It's like Panama and all those little countries that are like
Yeah.
There's no
Costa Rica.
Central
There's
America isn't a continent. It might just
I
be
know.
a term.
Yeah,
It's
I
like a
think
term
It's
though.
a term. It's not a
I don't know
continent.
where
Yeah.
you would consider those. Like
I don't
Costa
know.
Rica's, Panama's, all those little countries just south of
Mexico,
but it's not like so far south as Brazil where you really get to like the main body of South America. Right. Where you're like, yeah, that's a real like the South America, the Chiles, the
Panama
is in the central. So yeah, I don't know what
they
that's
literally
a part
cut
of.
a giant gash through an entire continent.
Yeah, that's
pretty amazing, isn't it?
Really cool.
You realize how big of a project that actually was? Like that was an engineering nightmare. There was like 18 different lead engineers on that project over the course of its like 12 years.
Yeah, dude.
It's freaking insane. They cut a 50-mile swap through a country just to save like.
It was a lot. I think it was like 3 weeks.
It's like a 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks via boat to go across, but still,
definitely
like
worth it.
And then we just spent over a decade building this. You guys can have it for free.
Wait, did America pay for that being built?
Yeah. And then we gave it to Panama.
You're shocked, bro?
Are you shocked?
Because I know everyone like pays to use it. Like people have to send.
Yeah, but it's
money.
Panama's money. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
bro. It's like three-quarters. It's like three-quarters of Panama's GDP.
That's
It's
crazy.
just
I didn't know
freighters
we paid
going
to
through
get
there.
that bill. I'm looking that.
I'm almost sure
The odds
we
are-
paid for the Panama
I
Canal.
swear to
Because it was all Americans went down there. At least some Americans went down there to help work on
Well,
it.
that was like either the phones are listening or a lot of people search that because I type in who paid for
the Panama Canal.
Dude, phones are definitely
the United States.
I told you, dude.
That's
I told
crazy.
you.
Do we get money from that?
Tell me.
Negotiated a treaty which gave U.S. control of the canal zone. The U.S. paid Panama $10 million. Dude. At least our annual annuity, and this is what the AI overview says.
It's telling us.
The AI annual annuity is probably pretty low. It's only $250,000. But the fact that we paid for it,
We paid for it
$375 million
in money from 1960.
Yeah, so
Or
that's
whatever.
like 1903.
Oh, 19. Oh, jeez.
So that's for like probably $700 million we paid for. but we
Probably more
still
than
have
that.
to pay
It's probably over $1 billion.
It's probably like $4
Probably-
billion.
It's probably $1 or $2 billion in
Yeah.
today's money.
It's probably like $4
Is
bill.
it 375 mil?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like $4 bill.
That's probably that's probably 2 to 3 billion. And
I don't think it's
I
that.
bet so.
Yeah, bro. Dude, money
See if I can look
in
this up.
125 years, I guaranteed money has inflated over like 700%.
Yeah, I guess it is 120 years.
$1 in 1903 is equivalent to purchasing power of about $35.86.
So now do
So
375 times 35.
Okay, let's see if we can do this.
The
375.
time value of money going off right now.
That's why I said what? 35.86.
It's
Yeah.
35. Yeah, sure. It's
86 is going to add up.
1.3. Hold on, let me turn it sideways. Okay,
13 billion.
13,125 million.
I'm surprised. I honestly thought it'd be like around 13 billion sounds right. Like project.
Even when I was saying $4 billion, I thought it was low.
That we
$35.
paid for
35x. What a great investment.
And what, we just been getting $250K
And they
every
paid
year?
a French company to do it. That's crazy. The United States literally just made two countries 13 billion, or actually not for Panama because they get the value.
6.75.
They just made two countries simultaneously rich while screwing themselves.
Genius.
They gave
Aren't we-
$13 billion
That's actually
to a
impressive.
French company.
It's very
What
impressive.
are we doing?
I mean, yeah, and we still pay them $250,000 a year.
For American freighters, which is probably a drop in the bucket, realistically, considering what a freighter probably usually has to pay to use the canal. But
Now, the
that
only-
might have also scaled up. I
That
don't know.
might have.
Because that was in 903, the U.S. negotiated the treaty, which gave U.S. control of the canal zone. The U.S. paid Panama $10 million and agreed to pay an annual.
Now, how much money are we
$250.
realistically making because of like more export or more imports now? You think?
I
More
mean,
export?
proportionally, comparatively, none, because the rest of the world gets to use it just as much. Like that's
Yeah.
like a world thing that everyone
It's
uses.
just a world class
Yeah.
free use now that we paid $13 billion for.
Yeah, the only difference we would have to calculate is like what are other countries' annual payment that they pay for it. Whatever we pay now, whatever they pay now, that's how much value we're getting technically, comparatively to like let's just say like Mexico or Canada. 'cause
We
they would
don't
be in
get
the
any
same
money from it?
situation. I haven't read anything.
Jesus.
There's our timer, so we're gonna go to the break. I'm gonna see if I can figure out if we have actually any
Frickin'
any money
charity.
from it. So
America is charity.
yeah, we are, bro. It's crazy. Catch you guys in a bit.
Alrighty. Me and Devin are back. Luke is not back. He had to go work on his back problems. Yeah, but we're actually going to do a new thing starting now. We're going to do public call-outs to anyone that can't make it on the episode. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll start with Luke, why he left.
So you're saying, like, just if they don't show up, we can, like, diss them real quick?
Yeah, we'll just, real quick, why they didn't. We'll just say, like, oh, this is why they didn't come.
Okay.
Luke wanted to watch Survivor with his mom.
Yep. Recorded.
Yeah, it was recorded.
They recorded Survivor, and they're watching it tonight. Trey apparently just forgot that we do podcast every Sunday night, so he's scheduled to work.
Yeah. Kind of wild.
So, that's that.
And they wanted to start on a class project that is due at the end of the year. So we were told.
Brother is not telling the truth.
Someone's saying him.
I'm not saying he's lying.
He's probably gonna be singing that Jason Aldean song, "Anything But the Truth."
I think it's just truth. It's just truth.
Yeah, but the goal of the song is for them to say anything but the truth. But it's just called The Truth. It's pretty good. I recommend giving it a listen.
Yeah, that song.
All right. Well, we didn't do any more research during the break.
Oh, I forgot.
Being me and Devin, we simply just talked about finances the entire time. Every time, bro. Yeah, we were trying to get our finances set up so it's like a set it and forget it type of thing, so we don't even have to put any mental work into it. But we each kind of love it, like it's just an enjoyable hobby or pastime. So I don't know. It's kind of like a dual blade. It's a weird dual blade sword where we want it to get it set up so we don't have to put time into it, but we also don't particularly dislike putting the time into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we kind of want to be at the point where if like life happens and we get caught up, that's not going to mess up our plans.
Right.
It's just everything's going to consistently go in the back end. But if we do want to check it, semi-frequently, we can. But we definitely want to get away from where we are I'm pulling up the Robinhood app like several times a day and checking it. And
which
I don't
isn't
even
good because then a lot of days it either is down or it was higher and I'm still positive on the day, but it still went down, and I just get mad for no reason.
And it's just a known concept of human psychology that
losses hurt more than
losses hurt like 3 times worse than any gain. So if I gain $20 in a day, I'll be like, I'll gain $20. If I lose $20,
I'm fuming.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
And it's gonna be bad because like I've seen big accounts before, and I've thought about this and stuff. So like in 30 years or whatever, when our accounts are 7 figures plus, we're gonna be dipping by $10,000, $5,000 a day,
if we have
and it's gonna hurt. It's going to hurt when you're like, God, I'm working for free this week. Like, I'm not getting paid this week off today.
If there's like a really rough month, and like I go and look at the 1 month, and it'll say like down like $100,000, It's like I lost a whole annual year of salary. But you want to get to a point where you're just checking it every 6 months and, making sure the overall philosophy is still going. You kind of want to check your funds, make sure they're not trending in the negative direction. Like we're not trying, and the big other thing too is it's not like we're trying to day trade and we're checking it because we want to close positions. Because
that's another problem. I'm always tempted to day trade because things spike and I know it's gonna go back down, but like I could sell it right now, wait for it to go back down, and then buy it back again, and I just I it's even more. I have more shares now with the same amount of original equity.
And you could just technically continue doing that at any amount of money.
You could.
You have like an auto invest, and then you could sell off everything. Especially with Robinhood, like if you sell off things up to a certain amount, they give you the money instantly. So like, I don't know how practical it is at like other accounts, because other ones you have to sell, wait for it to process, and then you have the cash to rebuy. But Robinhood, up to a certain amount, will give you that money instantly. So you could sell it, and if it goes down within the next 24 hours,
10 minutes. Sometimes it drops in 10 minutes. I'm gonna buy it back in.
Boom, buy it
and then
right
you
back in.
like if you look at your shares when you sell, wait 10 minutes, it goes down, and you use that exact same money, so you don't put any more money in it.
Have more
and rebuy it. Your shares will go up. It's like it's tempting, but it's just like it's not fruitful. It's like it's a risk.
It's
It's not tedious. What's that other? what's that other word for like?
Similar to tedious?
Yes, I think it starts with a T, and it's very like it doesn't mean much.
Oh,
you know what I'm trying to say?
like irrelevant. Like
yeah, it's like irrelevant. It's meaningless. It doesn't matter. I think it starts with a T. I don't know. There's some word out there. Someone, if you know what I'm talking about, drop it in the comments.
Drop it in the comments, guys.
Help me out here.
Yeah, no, there definitely is a word for that. Tumultuous, probably.
It's something like that. I feel like that's closer to what it is. Maybe it doesn't have a T. I don't know. But yeah. So
obviously, we're not financial professionals, so don't take our advice. And, if we were trying to give you advice, we would definitely be charging you for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, and we're just in like long-term investments that, are supposed to grow over years and years and supposed to go with the natural business cycle of the economy.
Yeah, like it could have a down year. It could have a down 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I remember I was talking to a gentleman, like an older gentleman at the gym one time, and he said, like, his 401k just casually, like, during 2022 when the whole market went down, it's like casually just lost, like, $100,000.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah. Whole year.
You just gotta hold.
Gone.
Yeah, you just gotta hold. And it'll slowly go back up.
Hold, and then, as you kind of get older, move a little bit more, less money into aggressive funds.
Yeah. More bonds.
More bonds. Maybe a more high yield savings and treasury bills. But yeah, I'm probably personally taking on more risk than I need to, just because, with the goal of buying a house here soon, I am invested in rather aggressive equities.
Yeah, I mean, I'm invested in aggressive just because I have such a long-term outlook,
Yeah.
Like my investments, I'm like, the ones I got, obviously I don't know how often I'll reevaluate, but like I'm willing to hold them for 10 years. And like even if it is an aggressive growth fund or whatever, like after 10 years it's probably gonna be positive. It's a really good chance it's gonna be positive. So
yeah, but are you beating inflation?
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Well, where did we leave off last segment at? I know I wanted to ask ChatGPT something over the break, but I never got to do it. So
was it? I think it might have been if the Panama Canal gets any money.
Yes. That's what you were supposed to research.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask something different. Here, you do a recap of last section. I'm going to type in my statement.
Oh, do you have it? Do you remember what you were going to ask it?
Yes, I'm going to ask ChatGPT, how many projects has the United States funded that we did not receive money back from? I just want to see what it says.
I'm going to take a guess.
I don't think it's going to come up with like a straight up number. I think it might list off some big ones. Yeah. Or it's going to give me some, different answer.
There's probably a bunch of little ones that it's not going to be able to find or think. It's just probably going to be like the top 10 biggest ones and probably give you the value amounts for those biggest ones. I mean, it's well over $1 trillion. I bet that. I guarantee that.
But also remember, I've used ChatGPT a lot today, so I'm not on their like top free version. Now I'm like, because like you only get like 15 questions or something with their like latest and greatest, and then you get pretty much pushed to their other server space, which takes less computing capacity.
I didn't know that.
And you get pushed down. It usually gives you like a notification, like.
See, I'm not even logged in. I don't even have. I'm still logged out on all my stuff.
Like you're not logged in. Wait, what do you mean you're not logged in on all your stuff?
Like on all my computers and phones, like I'm logged out. I don't have an account with ChatGPT. I might make one here soon though. I mean, I use it a decent bit now.
I don't even know what the advantages of having an account are.
I mean, I think they say it's like more tailored to your questions, and it's. I think you get access to a few other things.
I just have like all of my history too of everything.
You got history.
The amount of times I've asked ChatGPT to, like evaluate a stock for me is actually ridiculous.
Wow, does it give you good stuff?
Pretty good, yeah. It'll give you like pretty raw data, and then it'll like pull, like kind of like it'll just pulls from websites what other people type about it.
People's comments are about it. What their reviews are.
Does like reviews and descriptions. Okay, it asked me another question. Are you asking about U.S. government-funded projects in general?
Yeah.
Yes, general government projects.
Did you put a time from it, or did you just say all time, or?
I didn't really give it a time frame at all.
All right, so it's probably just gonna do all time then.
The U.S. government has funded thousands of projects across various sectors. Research. Okay, well, I won't count wars because
Yeah.
that seems kind of odd. Foreign aid and humanitarian assistance. The U.S. gives billions in foreign aid annually, about $50 billion per year, for countries for development, disaster relief, and economic stability. Infrastructure and public works. Interstate highway system funded with taxes. That didn't really make any sense. Okay, now it's talking about NASA. And I specifically said foreign projects.
ChatGPT are so silly sometimes. I love it when you tell like ChatGPT it's wrong. Because there's some things that like I know the right answer to, or like I found like the direct source it's from or whatever, and I'll ask it something. Yeah, well, the one I really remember, I was reviewing for one of my classes. We had to brief cases because it's contract management, so it's all about contracts, like the legal aspects of contracts.
Okay.
And we had to like brief real cases. So I had to go on to like the Ohio like .gov website and look up like the history of cases, and I found, Meyer versus this construction company or whatever it was, and I like found the actual case, and it was the full legal case text, and it's really long and difficult to understand, how lawyers are.
Yeah. Legalese.
Yeah, so I would type it into ChatGPT, like summarize and give me a case brief for this case, and it would say the most random thing, and I'm like, no, that's not it, try again. And it would say an even more random thing, and I'm
crazy.
like, ChatGPT, you're wrong. And it's like, oh, I apologize. Sorry.
So was it trying to pull like other resources from the web more so than what you even got it, or was it just not understanding the point?
It was understanding what it was like. It was just telling me like wrong facts of the case.
Oh,
like
wow.
They would say like in this person versus this person case number, this happened, and it would explain it, and I'm like, this is not right.
That'd been like one you had already read through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the ones that like he gave us examples to, and like I could tell what it was about.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely like you're not supposed to use it for like legal things, but now there's a cool thing you can do in ChatGPT where you can click reason, and it will actually, like, while it's answering it, it will like tell you what it's doing to answer it.
Like kind of like where it's getting that info from.
Yeah, where it's getting that info from, why it's looking for that. Okay, first military war efforts. That's again. Okay, here's some specific ones now. Let's look more specific. So it's got the Marshall Plan, which was 1948 to 1952. It was $13 billion, which is around $150 billion, and today's money was put into rebuilding Europe after World War II. The USAID, so USAID, USAID, and development assistance. The U.S. spends $50 billion annually. Plain Colombia, 2000 to present, over $10 billion to combat drug trafficking and insurgency in Colombia. Infrastructure and reconstruction. Afghanistan, Iraq reconstruction, over $200 billion spent on infrastructure, schools, and government programs. Panama, this is actually interesting, has the Panama Canal.
There you go.
Panama Canal, 1904 to 1914, originally built for $375 million.
Yep.
$10+ billion in today's money, later handed over to Panama.
Yeah.
What a wording. Power Africa Initiative, 2013 to present, $7 billion to improve electricity access in Africa. 2010 Haiti earthquake relief, or is it Haiti or is it Haiti?
Haiti, probably.
Haiti. Over $13 billion put into reconstruction. Ukraine aid 2022 to present, over $75 billion in military, economic, and humanitarian aid. Global health programs. The U.S. funds funded over $45 billion for disease eradication in the time frame of the COVID-19 pandemic response. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
And I bet no other countries do near that. And I don't even remember getting a thanks for that either.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I'm not definitely trying not to say like any of those things are bad.
Yeah.
But it's it's hard.
It's annoying when it always feels like we're always footing the bill for no reason. It's like no one else does any charity work.
Yeah.
So.
Just all we keep paying our taxes. Mm-hmm. And the larger the government gets, the more disconnected you actually feel from, having a say or any control on how your money is spent or how much money you have to give. And, we never even turn those on.
We always forget to turn on the lights.
You guys' dopamine was probably crashing this whole pod because our lights weren't on.
Boom.
There it is. Yeah. But,
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Hopefully they'll... you heard about the Doge reimbursement checks?
Yeah, I heard they're talking about that. I don't know if it got passed or where that is in the process, but that'd be cool.
I just heard they mentioned it. They said it would be could be a good chunk of money, like $5,000 to $6,000. But also, I'm assuming they're gonna do it proportional to how much taxes you actually pay in.
Probably. Yeah,
so people that don't really need the money, because they definitely, I don't think are gonna push to make it like welfare type of thing where it's gonna be even across the board.
No.
So most people that get the most money are kind of people that don't really need the money. But a lot of times people that don't need the money, when they get the money, they're able to do something with the money that has a very large positive impact, on society. Hopefully. It's a cool concept I want to talk about. Something you actually brought up to me, and I recently, you brought up that you had learned it in a class that I'm taking this semester, and I just took it, and it was how to get the uber wealthy and ultra rich to be more altruistic and donate more funds.
Yeah, the global money markets.
It was pretty much the concept of digging into their ego and having an award system, which pretty much puts them on a pedestal and said, like, this person had the most influential positive change on humanity this year. And I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Every time I think about it, I don't see a flag. Like, the normal, non-egotistical person is going to say, like, okay, whatever, I don't care, but also didn't affect me. I'm glad that a bunch of people got fed. Like, perfect. And, I mean, you might get to the point where people are trying to, like, fake it, but, like, how much negative, like, I feel like true negative can't be done. Even if they, like, lie about the numbers, they still kind of help some people. It'd be good, But, honestly, I was thinking it should just be, like, a presidential medal of honor, like, borderline like fake.
But I mean, like, what value does it actually have? It's just rare,
just recognition.
Yeah.
But there'll be enough, and like for someone like me, I'll say like, that's really cool, but probably not gonna like idolize that person or like spend money for them. And I'm sure there'll be some people that do. They might gain some social media following. But yeah, just recognize like the person that has donated the most money to charity or like had the biggest project, and just give them a medal of honor, and then every year, like, bring them in the front of Congress and let them do, like, a small speech to the public. I mean, if it's a heated race and people put in, like, if, like, the winner's, like, 500 million, and then, like, second, third, all the way, like, the 20th place, that's, like, another, combined, say, 100 or 1,000 million. Is that $1 billion?
Yeah.
Another $1 billion put to charity.
Yeah. And you can even do that multiple. Like, you could have multiple, like, human... Like, you can divide it into sectors. You can
my gosh.
And you can have different levels. Yes. The more reward...
You say, like... and you have, like... You could have, like, the overall one. And then you... Like, just like a sports banquet in high school. You could have, like, the most improved. Like, this person ranked, like, 100th on the chart last year. Now they ranked 19th on the chart. You could have it just by monetary. You could have it by actual impact.
You can have it by like sections, like the biggest in education.
Yes.
And there probably is some organization. It's probably just like it's just not super backed or super published.
Yeah. And then, I guess that's a whole other way to look at it. If you actually do give these organizations recognition, it could actually increase their revenue stream, which hopefully, is going to a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's less. It would be about organizations and more about like individuals. I was thinking.
Yeah. I think so too.
Like it would just bring up an individual.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like the rewards of capitalism. Like you've already won capitalism. You have more money than you can ever need. Now, how do we get these people to?
What do they care about now?
Yeah, what do they care about? They care about
the money. They
respect.
have
Recognition.
They want time on TV.
Yeah.
TOT. Time on TV.
All right, Dave. Yeah, they want their ego tickled.
Yeah.
That's such a great way to do it. I mean, I would do that if I was a president. If I became president today, I would probably be the second thing I do. First thing I would do would be aptitude testing for all political candidates and reoccurring aptitude testing for in-office candidates. Like, make them take the ACT. I want to see your If I'm going to vote for you, I want to see your ACT score. If colleges are going to be you got to think a college which enrolls thousands of kids want to see that. But someone that is going to run our country, we don't get to see any intelligent metrics.
Mm-hmm. So I think the idea behind that is we kind of assume that the American people would be smart enough to we don't need that. Like people will be smart enough they won't hire an idiot.
Yeah.
But we've seen it happen before. We've seen not very intelligent people, very irrational people, people that should just not be in politics.
Because it's escaped so far away from, people that are the most capable to the people that have the biggest network and the most funding. Yeah,
biggest. It's all about the biggest name now, and not about the biggest brain.
Yeah. So, it'd be cool if we could change that and kind of have more people. I also wish it was more of if the actual getting the candidate was more of a bigger thing.
Yeah, that would be good. And I think you would modify the test, because I'll be honest, I don't really care if my politician knows how to calculate angles of a triangle that are adjacent angles or whatever.
Yeah.
Again, I still
they could definitely develop. Even it would be cool if it was just like a current news test. Yeah. Like how well versed are you with the current affairs of the world? Yeah. I
think that should be a part. But at the same time, I'm completely fine with having math and science. Math
and science I can get behind.
Because I think everyone should have a basic level of understanding of every type of concept. People will say they're in physics class and they're I'll never use this in my life. Why do I have to do this? It's because you can't be an idiot. You should know how to do. You may never do it in your life, but you should know how to calculate motion to the slightest bit. Again, you don't have to be a beast at it, but very simple things. You should know how the world works. And if someone were to show you, if a mathematician were to come up to you and show you some of their very basic work, you should be able to get a grasp on it and be I kind of understand where you're going with this.
In high school, one time I thought about I made a pie chart of my motivation and to do well in classes. And I think a pretty solid chunk of it was to just do well and get the prestige of the grades and everything. And then another chunk of it was to actually learn the material from a common sense standpoint, not from naturally applying it, just being a generalized, intelligent person. And then I think the third chunk of it was by forcing myself to learn how to learn, I'll know how to learn.
Yes.
That's what a bunch of school is learning a bunch of stuff, so you're actually gaining the ability to learn. Right. So now when I go into a new job or I'm in a new situation, I can learn how to do it.
Yeah. You can adjust. You're self-sufficient. You can figure it out yourself. Yeah. And there's so many people that are not like that you'll see when it's man, instead of asking me this question or struggling with this, just do a Google search. Just look it up. Just read a little bit about it. You'll get a general understanding, and then you should be able to work on it from there.
Or even how to phrase a question.
Yes.
So it's as effective as possible and makes you seem as intelligent as possible as well. Because there's and just doing, I think that's coupled with also doing the back end research. So getting as far as you truly can get before you need to ask a question. Thinking through how to ask a very effective and intelligent question, and then executing and asking the question.
Like one thing that just kind of reminded me of was like when we come to credit cards, a huge passion of ours too is credit cards. We have done so much research on credit cards and knowing about them. And I've even watched hours. I don't know if you watched the one I sent you, where it was this guy, he was just talking for an hour about credit cards, but it was a bunch of info of basically like, I think it was mainly like Reddit of people that worked at these credit bureaus. And they just talked about the insides and outs of working at a credit bureau and what all this, and it was a whole bunch of questions of what does this encompass? Do they ask this? And what do they look from this? And it's just like that, like, I could meet someone right now and I could apply for a credit card for them. And I bet the way I would just go through the application, even though I would use all accurate information, the way I would go through the application and like the process and just the system behind it, I bet I would have a better chance than them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which is so weird.
Just like different credit cards I know to apply for, what their strengths, what their weaknesses are, how to phrase different things when you're putting it in there, what they want to see, what they don't want to see.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
Especially if it gets like declined, you could call into the reconsideration line.
Yep.
And I've done it. I've gotten declined for a credit card. It was actually because it was a frequency issue. I applied for too close together, and I called into the reconsideration line and kind of said like why I applied for them so close together, because I had a game plan to use them in tandem. And, the person, like, listened to me give my spiel that I had prepared. And they're like, okay, let me transfer you. And they transferred me right to someone that had the authority pretty much. Mm-hmm. Like, they approved me, transferred me to someone that had the authority, and then approved me for the card. Yeah. And, yeah.
And I bet if I had to bet, you were probably, like, way overkill. I bet if you would have just called and just showed them that you were a real human and you were a person that had decent intelligence, they probably were ready to press that approve button 5 seconds, and then you kept going.
They listened to me just go ham for a minute and a half. Like, there was like a solid 90 to 120 seconds where they didn't say a word, and I was like straight up just talking. Mm-hmm. They were just listening. And they honestly, the YouTuber that I watched, because I kind of watched a video on the basics of how the reconsideration line works, he said if you just call in, like if you're just willing to do that effort, you got about a 50% chance. And if you just go in there and say I really wanted to get approved for this, could you approve me? Just the fact that you took the effort to call in.
Yep. There's a good chance. It's a decent chance. It's a decent chance.
Yeah. Yep. And that's true for a lot of things too. I think a lot of times if people just see you putting in the effort, they're going to be willing to go with it,
right.
Yeah. So what were we talking about?
Aptitude test.
Aptitude
test. You could definitely
develop a really effective one.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to modify it. And again, I think you would have basic level questions about all sectors from science, world history, U.S. history, I think should be a decent one. And then even about how the political system works, like what can you do and can't you do as a politician, just like they know their own job.
Yeah, maybe even some general economics, and then throw in some general legal.
Right. Because again, and I wouldn't expect people to accelerate at the score and crush it. Because I don't need my politicians to be geniuses in science or even world affairs. You just need good people that you truly want the best for their constituents that are getting the job. But I still think there should be a base level that everyone should pass.
Yeah.
So.
And then if they do in turn study for it, it's only going to be for the better.
Because now that I think about
intelligent people.
It's crazy. You have to get licensed and certified to sell insurance, give people financial advice, which we're 21 and 22, and I feel like we'd have pretty decent advice, and I could set someone up pretty well. Yeah. And I haven't even dedicated that much time to doing that much research.
Yeah.
But you have to get certified to do that.
To legally tell someone advice. And then it's I have my life and health certification. It was a pretty hard test. I had to go through all that. And then I have to do continuing education every 2 years. Every 2 years I have to do 32 hours of study.
Yeah. You have to, for a lot of those jobs, you have to get those. To do taxes, you have to be a CPA, I think, right? Or I think you maybe be a CPA. Damn, that time went fast.
Yeah, that kind of flew.
But either way, you have to be certified. Why do our politicians not have to be? People are running their country creating these codes. And obviously they have consultants and teams that work with them that give them specialized advice. But
yeah, maybe there could be a team test too, where you go in with 10 people, take a test as a team.
Yeah.
As your cabinet test, and then you have your individual test. But yeah, I think it would just be nice to see, rather than relying on, the voter to get all that information from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to know more about them than just the clips you see on the news, which are heavily biased.
Right.
Alrighty, just want to do a really quick outro here. We got to watch ourselves because we have tried to do outros that have became like 20 minutes before.
Yeah. We'll try to keep it to an hour so you guys don't have to like clear out your whole afternoon to listen or whatever.
Yeah.
You could squeeze this in on a car ride or something. But thank you guys so much for listening. Like we said, subscribe, leave a like, helps us a lot. A comment, we see every comment. Obviously, we're not some massive YouTube brand, so if you comment, we'll hit you back.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Especially if you want to be a guest.
Yeah.
Let us know. We will definitely work you in the schedule. Obviously, we have physical seats available.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. We're always rotating people in and out, so feel free. We do have an Instagram and TikTok. It's been pretty dead recently. But it's just at Speaking Sporadically. You can follow it too. It's free. I mean, it's not like we're going to annoy you or anything.
Yeah.
But if we do post something, you'll see it. That's it. Every Thursday at 4?
Yep.
Friday?
Every other Thursday.
Every other Thursday at 4. We should be posting. Thank you guys so much for listening. Catch you next time.
See ya.